Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. For some reason, I couldn't hear myself. Hey! Technical difficulties. Guys, welcome to Gaming Go Weird. This is episode number 47. I'm going to change the show to Gaming Getting Hot because me and Peter are absolutely cooking doing these shows, man. So if we can get a prayer right now for me and Peter's insanity because we are cooking. My name is Nicktana, guys. Gaming critic, gaming connoisseur, and 5'5" short king beast. On the right of me, we have my best friend, my Pikmin lover, the 6'6" god, not Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories, how you doing, baby?
I'm doing great. It's hot though. Everything's great.
Hot.
But it's hot at the same time.
Dude, I think that's like the only thing I can think of is like it's hot.
The bugs are out. The flies are circling, the body, which is me at night, especially.
Vultures.
Dude, it is. The mosquitoes are so bad outside of my house. It is. I opened the door for a second. I mean, I'm getting toe up out here. That's all. That's all I gotta say. I'm getting toe up.
Toe up to the flow up.
That's not good. But that's why makes what makes video games so great. I can be inside. So
yeah, but like I feel like unless you have AC flowing, you're just preheating in the house.
Right.
Like it's like the same thing. I got fans over here running. I got fan over here running. I got door open up there. So we're trying to let in as much air as possible.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guys, this is the podcast where we talk about everything weird gaming. We review some games, and we are here to give you all the gaming news possible to penetrate your guys' ear holes. Peter, man, what's been new though, bro? What's been popping? Anything crazy? What have you been working on? What have you been playing gaming wise? How about that? We'll start there.
Yeah, man. So we finished Pikmin 1, on to Pikmin 2. I'm about 40% through Pikmin 2. Also, I have been playing a football game for the Switch. I think it's called Football Heroes Turbo. I think that's the official name. And it's kind of like NFL Blitz a little bit. So you can upgrade individual players, but while you're on the field, there is a punch mechanic. So
that's tough.
There's no penalties. So like people are going out for passes. Before the pass gets there, you can hit them into the ground and you get paid on it. So everything in the game, you earn cash toward your team, and you can upgrade individual players. You can change out your playbooks. I mean, it's like the games are 2.5 minutes. Like it's like in and out. So super fast games. A season, it's like 5 to 8 games, somewhere in there.
Right.
So, I mean, you can play an entire season with the team, 30 to 45 minutes. And sorry, my mom's calling me. It's vibrating my whole desk. Freaked me out.
Shout out Mama Ghost.
Yeah, so we've been playing that. And then we've been playing The Wandering Village. I can't remember if we talked about this last time.
Dude, you are like a gaming, like you've been on it.
And I've been running a lot of mock drafts for fantasy. I've been playing.
I'm not worried about you in fantasy. And the only reason I say that, guys, is because me and Pete are actually, this is the second year of us doing fantasy football. So we have we have like a league where basically we have a bunch of gamers and we sit there and we have a whole fantasy draft of guys that just play video games and I also love football. And me and Pete have a little bit of side bets going on for our games. There's been a little bit of smack talk going on. I think we're 1-1 against each other. We're using this for straight up bragging rights at this point because at the same time,
100%.
Because like Pete, he thinks he runs the league. He thinks he runs the gaming world, and I just got to show him up. So.
It's literally never happened, but
yeah. So back to your football game. Like, I don't think anything sounds better than just like going out there and sacking Derek Carr, and then afterwards just giving him a little bit of a shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, NFL Blitz is great.
NFL Blitz was like peak when it came to football games, and it was only around like the only one I played, or I feel like a lot of people played, was NFL Blitz. I think it was 99. Or 1999?
How many were there?
There wasn't a lot because I think they got rid of it.
I know there was a 2000.
Cool down. Welcome to the show. Tim, welcome to the show. I appreciate it.
Dude, it went through 2003. Went through 2003. Went through 2008. And then they released like a remake in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. 97 to 2012. I mean, the first games were clearly the best. I'm sure the later ones didn't do that great, but
I just like the fact that you could just like the football was always on fire. You had like maybe 10 plays. It wasn't overcomplicated.
yes,
It was just
dude,
you.
a small playlist.
Yes.
A playbook. Yeah.
It was super hard to throw the ball, but if you did, it was rewarding.
And you could throw it full length of the field. You could
Yeah.
just keep backing up all the way to the edge and then throw from end zone to end zone. That was
Kick
sick.
returns were just like, especially if you haven't played the game, it was just somebody just keep on tackling you over and over and over and over and over again unnecessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's awesome. So I've been playing a little bit of this game called Baldur's Gate. If you guys don't know, I've been on my Dungeons and Dragons nonsense shenanigans, and I am really enjoying the game for how much I've never even touched Dungeons and Dragons before. I've never thought about playing Dungeons and Dragons, so a lot of the character customization and a lot of like the dice rolling stuff, and when it comes to the actual game in general, is very, very new to me. But I like it because, dude, the quality and like the vision for this game is just, I see it, bro, because the cutscenes itself feels like a straight up movie, and the story it tells is very, very, very good. A lot of different choices in the game. It feels like everybody could have a different opportunity and a different chance with the their own playthrough, which I really like. They have the character creation is off the freaking charts with Baldur's Gate.
I've seen some clips.
I'm talking about straight up, like, you could do so much with the customization. I made a druid. So basically I could shapeshift into other animals that I want to. Okay. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm basically attacking, like, I can turn into a wolf, or I can turn into a spider, or I can turn into a cat, a honey badger. So I can turn into stuff like that, and I can attack based on that. But it's like turn-based. So basically you can only take so many steps. You can only do one thing per turn. So if it's like, doing a spell or doing an attack or powering up for the next attack or stunning somebody. So it's very strategic on what you got to do. And me and Mo are doing a playthrough together. So it seems like we got to like basically strategize to get through what we want to do. This was my character that I ended up making. I think he is pretty dope. Like, just to give you guys a little taste of what you could get in character customization, you can customize everything. Especially the fact that you could customize something that I don't feel like talking or saying on this show. Below the belt region. You could customize that. Yeah, really shins. Cool shins, yeah, you could do some shins customization.
With the battle, like, is it so it's a top down, like when you go into combat, does it like go into a separate battle area where you're doing the fighting, and then when it ends, like, you come out of it, or is it just wherever you're at on the map it can occur?
What do you mean? So like
like like Pokemon, when you run into an enemy, it goes into an encounter, then you complete that encounter, it comes back out of it.
No, everything still feels the same. Like, you get the same camera angles and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gotcha. So
yeah, Baldur's Gate, guys. I'm excited to talk about that a little bit more once I play through it. I've only played like 2 hours of it, but that's basically all I've been thinking about and trying to figure out what character I need to make. So, yes.
Yeah, man, it's getting good reviews. Like, it's getting really solid reviews, and
I see why too, because like it's a game that, like, I feel like it wouldn't be so mainstream because it's about Dungeons and Dragons, but at the same time, like, it's friendly enough to where, like, you could hop in and it does all the math for you. It tells you all your skill points. It does everything for you, so it's easy to keep track of skill points and stuff like that. But like the character customization and the story really tie everything in together, and I think they did a very good job. I think it has like a 94 on Metacritic, and that's like Elden Ring type score. So,
Game of the Year prospect?
I think it can be Game of the Year, but it's all about if it gets nominated for it. Like, I feel like it's like right there with it.
Need some time to play it out a little bit.
Yeah. Pete, you want to go ahead and kick us off with the question of the day?
Yeah, the question of the day, the question of the day is, what's the next mobile game you want to see, or rather, is there a game that you would want to see come to mobile so you can play it on the go? And when I say mobile, I guess you could say Switch just because it's mobile, but I guess more traditionally like an iPad or a phone.
When I think of mobile game, like it has to be for the phone. It has to be for the phone or the iPad. Like we're talking iOS, Android. That like when you get into Switch, bro, like then you get games like Red Dead that we're gonna talk about. But
we'll need to review that.
I need a Ninja Turtle game for the iPhone.
Oh, do they not really?
Like one of those old school Ninja Turtle games where you're like walking around, like you have like two turtles, like a side scroller, like beat them up, kind of like Shredder's Revenge. Like I think that'd be kind of sweet, where you're just you pick your turtles, you and a friend could just go side by side and just beat the crap out of enemies, out of guys, Foot Clan soldiers and stuff like that.
Bad guys,
Yeah, evil, destroying evil. I think that would be like number one for me if I were to think about a game that could play for iOS and Android. Just because, first of all, I feel like it'd be very easy to run. I feel like the movement would be good and the attacks would be great to have. I don't think you could overcomplicate the game, but I think it would be good enough and it would run smooth enough to where it could do something.
Yeah.
If we're getting to a point to where we'll talk about it later in the show, guys, but we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Jade. If Assassin's Creed Jade looks the way it is and it can run on mobile, I feel like at this point we can do anything though. So
yeah, well, I definitely have some comments on that and the way that game looks, but
with the right team for sure.
Oh yeah.
What about you?
I would love to see. I think there would be a real opportunity for a company to create themed pinball games based off of famous franchises. So, I think pinball plays pretty easy on a mobile device. And then you as the company, kind of like the Telltale games did with just all of their games. It's like Telltale Batman, Telltale Walking Dead, Telltale whatever. I think you could do themed pinball settings. Because when you walk into a pinball arcade and they have it's like every machine is based off a show, off a superhero, off a series, off a character.
Right.
And if you could get the rights to do that for, you have Assassin's Creed Pinball, Pokemon. I mean, you never get Pokemon rights, but Assassin's Creed Pinball. You could do
it would have to be
NCAA football,
right.
Pinball.
But in order to do that, you would have to get teams to sign off on that. So you'd have to have Ubisoft be yeah, you could use our franchises and make it a pinball thing. So it'd have to be Ubisoft Pinball.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it has to be or Gearbox Pinball, where it takes each franchise and turns it into its own pinball game with special things and special level looking stuff.
Yeah. I mean that. Yeah. So it would be totally modeled after the franchise. That's the great part about pinball machines. It's it was so custom and themed after. I think pinball machines are really cool. I just think they're cool.
I like pinball machines too. They don't get enough love. I think in a pinball machine game would actually be pretty cool too.
And if you had it themed after every single one of these big franchises, you don't have to. It's just one of those games you don't have to boot up and then okay, now I'm playing this game. You're on a subway, you could play it for 20 minutes and you don't have to save it. You can just go to the next thing. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Oh, yeah.
Let us know what you guys think down below. What game would you turn into a mobile game if you could? So you could play on the go or, just play whenever you want. Getting into the games that are coming out this week, guys, we have a few of them. We have Gourd that actually came out August 8th. I've heard a lot about Gourd. I don't know the reviews that I got for it or anything, but Gourd came out finally. Tower of Fantasy came out for the PS5 today. 30XX came out for the Switch today. Atlas Fallen is coming out tomorrow. Stray is finally releasing for the Xbox Series X and S and for the original Xbox One. Stray Gods is coming out tomorrow on August 10th. And one that I think that would be very fun is House Flipper is coming to PlayStation VR 2 and VR 1 on August 11th. I think just being able to flip a house in VR mode would be super fun. Being able to you feel like you're actually doing stuff with this house. You feel me?
Picturing you in your basement doing this with your VR controller, just putting nails
right. No, your homie comes over and you're paint roller. What are you doing?
Paint roller.
Moving the fridge.
Dude, like picking up a couch, like trying to lift with your knees. Oh man,
You're
those
like,
games always do so well.
You're like, oh, I gotta pick up this garbage. You're like on the floor. What's he doing?
Those games always do well. Like
wife's in the back, like kids, pack your bags.
Yeah. You're going through a divorce.
He's lost it. He's lost it. Babe, what's for dinner? Like just.
Man.
No, that would be sweet. I'm excited for that. And then getting into it real quick, on this day, on August 8th, 1950, the father of the PlayStation is born. Hopefully I'm saying this right. Kitaraji. I definitely butchered that. Sorry, my PlayStation friends. Is credited as the motivating force behind the successful console and served as the chairman and CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment. He retired in 2007.
Important figure.
That is an important figure. He's the man.
He is the man.
Cool down that, bro. House Flipper 2. Not House Flipper 2. House Flipper for VR.
I love when, not that cool down saying that, but when people dog on games, like, they're like, dude, House Flipper 3 is going to suck. I'm like, really? Because they made a third one. So clearly it's like doing well.
They're getting the money to make the third one, and they had like 2 million downloads off the second one. So
yeah.
Getting into our first topic of the day, guys. If you guys haven't heard, you guys should heard that Red Dead Redemption is getting a PS4 and Switch port, and it is getting put out there for a $50 price tag, which sounds very lazy due to the fact that this game is not getting any real upgrades over the original versions, and it's also just like $50 for a game that's been out since October 2010 is kind of ridiculous. Peter, I kind of want to get your info on how you feel about this Red Dead Redemption coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Switch. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me get into what is actually in it so you guys kind of know. So the game is $50 itself. So we're a game from 2010, and you get the actual Red Dead Redemption game, and then you also get the DLC, which is called Undead Nightmare. I guess it has like zombies that feature into everything and stuff like that. I'll let you kick it off, Peter. What's up with this, man? Like
the biggest red flag for me on this is that they're bringing one as a new Switch owner. Why would this ever be on the Switch? This does not belong on that.
Oh, dude, if your Switch doesn't blow up, bro, give your Switch like it's putting your Switch in early retirement is what I'm saying, dude. Like this Switch is running. Okay, in football terms, your Switch running Red Dead Redemption is like getting hit by Brian Urlacher running up like in the C gap.
And you don't play football.
Yeah,
you're just on the field. Yeah.
You're just there.
Yeah. You're not even on the team. Also, a red flag for me based on what Rockstar was saying. It's not going to support 60 frames, which on the Switch is understandable. But for a PS4 owner, PS5 owner, you can't run 60 frames. What are we doing? And you're charging me $50?
So it's never going to run 60 frames on the Switch due to the fact the Switch can't run 60 frames. Sure. So, but the PlayStation 4, like, I don't. It's the fact for me is like you can't do any. Like at that point, you might just want to just find a copy for the PS3 and just play that. It'll probably be cheaper to do that unless you really want to play this game on the go. Is the way I see it.
Right, and there's no multiplayer. So
no multiplayer. Nope.
What am I paying $50 for?
So that was what there was also another article that I want to touch into. This one is by David Wolinsky from GameSpot. And basically the Take-Two Interactive CEO and Chairman Strauss has backed the pricing strategy for the game and basically saying that it's worth the $50 for like certain reasons. He said in response that that's just what we believe is the commercially accurate price for it. They said that the DLC on its own is a new game. Like it's a standalone game on its own. So they characterize that DLC is so good and that you could do so much with that DLC that it's just a game on its own versus with the $30 game. Because shit, if we're talking about a game from 2010, no, it's just a port. it has to be like, bro, like $30. Like I know, like Red Dead, like I feel like Take-Two, they got late. I feel like they're getting a little big headed here because they did the Grand Theft Auto thing. We remember how that turned out. The Grand Theft Auto trilogy that was just insanely full of bugs, and now they're doing this, and they say like, oh, we deserve the $50. You didn't do anything to it. Merely for the fact that I feel like you can't do so much because, again, if you want to run smoothly onto the Switch, you probably can't do so much to it, and because then you're pushing the console's limits. But at the same time, bro, this is no more than a $30 game. But that's my opinion. You guys could have your own opinion. Just because like the game is as old as it is, the DLC, for a game that's that old, we're not putting a $20 tag on that or a $10 tag for how old that DLC is. You feel me?
I think it's a money grab. I think $50 is steep. I would agree with $30. I mean, it's like a bare bones version of the game from a technical side. So, and Red Dead fans, genuinely Red Dead fans, have already played the game and beaten it. So I don't know, man. I don't like it. I think it's kind of lackluster. I think it's like, should you have done this?
30 frame per second cap, and then like 13, like this game is 13 years old, man. Like this, it's gonna have the same stuff from 13 years ago with no advancement, no adjustments, nothing new to the game, no multiplayer.
It's not just all of the content.
It's straight up to where like if you had like FOMO and you haven't played the game before and you really feel like you need to play Red Dead Redemption 1 and you have to play it for the Switch, you can. But I think the only other way you could play this game is on the Xbox One. But you definitely have to check on that. I was kind of confused on why it's coming out for the Switch and the PS4. That is $50 is not cheap for a game.
Why would I spend $50 on this when I can buy a new game or like a used copy of the second?
I could put $50 towards something new. Exactly is what I'm saying.
Right.
So let me answer this question for you. Is this just, you think this is straight up just a money grab? Do you think this is just flat out lazy from Take-Two? Like,
I think it's a money grab. I think I also think these companies, when they release games that do well, and this is obviously a huge franchise, I think they're going to do the same thing 5, 6, 7 years from now for Red Dead 2. Like they know that they can re-release it, which is what it is, and then try to make up some extra cash re-releasing the same stuff that we've already played.
So
I would understand like a $40 tag if it was just coming to Switch, or $30 because I just feel like nothing's cheap on the Switch.
Right.
This is kind of what I'm learning. But for PlayStation people, what? Maybe $20, maybe.
The only reason why things aren't cheap for the Switch is because when it comes to the Switch, you're paying for the exclusive aspect of it. You're not paying for the game. But like most of the time, if you were to pay like $40 or like $60 for a game, like Pikmin 1 and 2, you paid the $50 price tag for that. You're not going to be able to play Pikmin anywhere else. They get two games and they're HD. And you're getting 2 games. You're getting 2 games for HD, so they improve the game, and the only place you can play it is the Switch. That is an entirely different reason to be like, okay, well, we got Red Dead Redemption. You guys can play it on Switch now. I'm saying the game is really good. The game is probably one of the better games. Like Take-Two, when it comes to the Red Dead series, the Grand Theft Autos, like those games are very good. It's the mere fact that it's like, you could just tell that it's just like, oh, copy and paste. This is like, because think of what Red Dead fans have been waiting for. They have been playing Red Dead 2 for plenty of years now. And Take-Two also has been the type of company to just not release anything new for a while. Look at Grand Theft Auto 5. That thing has been out for 10 years now, I think. Right. You might correct me on that. It's been out for a while. And all they keep on doing is putting out next-gen versions, this type of version. They are not in any rush to put out Grand Theft Auto 6 at any single time. Same thing with Red Dead Redemption 3.
Yeah, they're still making a ton of money on it. What was it, 5? Grand Theft Auto 5? Came out in 2013. Came out 10 years ago.
10 years ago. And they're still pushing it out.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Vexus said Baldur's Gate is a massive and brand new and is only $60.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why wouldn't I buy Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah, at that point.
10 bones. $50 is ridiculous, man. That's I'm offended.
It's a lot of freaking money,
I'm offended. Man. That's where I'm at.
I think as we get more into this, I feel like, especially on social media, people will not bite their tongue on this, and I think Take-Two has been hearing the rough end of this, so hopefully they can find a way to make this right. But they are holding their ground, and they are saying that they think this game is absolutely worth the price tag.
It's some suit upstairs who's like, nah, you gotta do this. You know, I don't think it's the creative people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. My dogs totally agree with that too. So.
Dude, keep barking. Let them know. Let them know.
Tell Take-Two what they're thinking. Let us know what you guys think about the Red Dead switchboard. I think it's lazy, and hopefully they put an end to this soon. The next topic I want to get into is a game that a lot of people are talking about, but I want to kind of kick it off with Peter before we get into this next topic. Peter, how do you feel about microtransactions in the game? Do you deal with them? Are you okay with them? Like, where do you draw the line when it comes to microtransactions?
I think it's an insanely brilliant business strategy. Just make the game free, and then just add cosmetics, and then however much money you spend on a game. Well, because it's like this deniability you have. Game's free. You know, well, how's your game still in beta? Well, it's free. You know, it's never done.
Right.
Fortnite, I don't know if Fortnite was the first one to have microtransactions. Probably not, but it sure mastered it. And that
was the first time we saw microtransactions, and people were like, "Yeah, I'd pay that much for a skin." When I think of microtransactions, I think of like DLC skins too. Like you could buy DLC, or not skins, my fault. DLC maps. Like World at War, they always had like the DLC map packs that you had to buy and stuff like that. The map packs
I'm more okay with. It's like, I guess CS:GO has like a whole economy for skins. So they're definitely not the first one to have microtransactions. Fortnite, but I feel like Fortnite really brought it
right.
Like really, it's super addicting too. So it really affects people. But gone are the days where a game was released at midnight. You went and you bought the game and you had the whole game. You know, there might be some DLCs down the road with maps, typically multiplayer maps. Like I'll always buy multiplayer maps if I'm really into the game as far as like a shooter goes. But for skins, I've purchased skins. Absolutely, I have. But I know it's a waste of money.
I'm definitely going to go ahead and get to that, what you said about buying the game and getting the full game in a second. But I want to read this article. This is from PC Games, and this is by Lauren Bergen. And it's called Dark and Darker Realistically Had to Add Microtransactions. Following Dark and Darker's surprise early access launch on Monday, August 7th, Iron Mace has confirmed that the RPG games will include an in-game store that it is a, in quote, realistic caveat of running a live service game. If you're a Dark and Darker player, that's either news you didn't want to hear or really wanted to hear. CEO Terrence Park writes, "We want to address the elephant in the room and talk about the addition of the in-game shop. Our assumption when we started this game, or when we started this company, was that you could still build a business while being true to your fans. The in-game shop is our attempt at being realistic with the business of running an online game, but trying to find a way to do it without resorting to random loot boxes and FOMO items. In quotes, we want to offer players a fair way to support us while enjoying the game," he continues. Please let us know how you think we're doing on this front. In addition to the in-game shop, we've added a Founders Edition / add-on pack to show our appreciation to the loyal fans who stuck with us through this crazy journey, available through this platform you purchased the game on. So it looks like they've been very transparent about the fact that this game needs microtransactions. And I feel like when it comes to a free-to-play game, or when it comes to a game like this, you kind of need that type of business to keep the lights on sometimes. Because when it's a free-to-play game, like some people just buy the game and that's all that there is to it. And they can never keep up on whenever they have to pay people to like patch their game, or the people that actually work on the game entirely after the fact that the game comes out. I think this is the first time that I heard like a company speak out and be like, yo, like this is what we have to do respectfully is we have to have the microtransactions, because if we don't have microtransactions, then it's not going to be put together the way we want it to. And I think as gamers, I think we kind of turn away from that, because when you hear the word microtransactions, you kind of like shrivel up a little bit.
All right.
Because microtransactions aren't cheap, especially for like certain cosmetics. But if they turn out to be beneficial in a way, then I can understand. The worst microtransactions I've ever spent on were probably Fortnite. Fortnite was an evil time for me, where you would just see the new skin and you would buy it. You see the gritty in the you see the gritty in the eShop, and you're like, I gotta have it.
yeah.
The gritty in the eShop. How do you feel about the statements they made, though?
I think it sounds like he's saying, hey, at the end of the day, we got to run a business. So if we're not going to get a bunch of advertising dollars, this is a way to keep the game running longer. Also, more money means more resources back into the game. Also, more money means we can reward the people who built it and keep the company afloat. I mean, it's just one of these necessary evils. Like as a gamer, it sucks because it's just more and more. And I feel like an in-game shop outside of like multiplayer shooters, it always turns it off for me. Like I'm like, oh cool, like good game. Oh, online shop. Now I'm like taking it out of it a little bit. But
I hate to see it in like Call of Duty. That's one of the things I hate to see microtransactions in.
It just highlights how much of a business it is. And for me, it takes a little bit of the mystique out of the game. Like, I've like, when you're like watching a game install and you get this anticipation, like, oh, it's installing, it's completed, I'm on the main screen. It's like new game, continue, settings, shop. I'm like, oh God, it's just not. I don't know. Like, I get it. They make money from it. It's a business. It's a product. So.
Right.
I guess what I would be most concerned with is how much of the game did you purposely leave out for the sake of having them for microtransactions versus like if I release a game, it has 8 multiplayer maps, but all of a sudden we have 4 DLCs within 10 months. I'm like, so did you have 16 maps? And you're just like, nah, let's not release them all. Let's just sell them later. Like that, that bothers me a little bit.
Well, Cooldown said that he'd be willing more to buy extra stuff if they release a completed game, which I 100% agree on. If you feel like a microtransaction for me is paying what you think the game is worth. So if the game is free and you sit there and you're like, okay, well, I love this game. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting a good character. Oh, well, I put in 25 hours of this game and I've been working on this character for so long. I know I'm going to keep this character. I'm going to spend the $10 to get the 6th skin that comes with it, or like this thing in the shop, because you're rocking that character, that you're going to be him for a very long time, and then you're contributing towards the game what you think the game is worth at that point.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a really good point.
But like the only way this method works, I would say though too, is if your game stands out that much from other games to where it's like, bro, if your game, no offense, if your game stinks and nobody wants to spend money on it, or they feel like, oh, there's no purpose to spend money in this game, I just play this for fun, nobody's going to buy it. And then you're not going to make any money off your game. So that's why that free to play, we've seen it, bro. It's been a formula. A lot of these free to play games, it
works.
No, it doesn't work. A lot of these free to play like games have been like straight up just like plummeting, bro. We had,
if the game is good with the shop. Yeah.
Knockout City, that game got gone. The I think it's like the Blood. I forgot what it's called. It's the vampire game, the Blood game.
Vampire Survivors.
It's not Vampire Survivors. It's
no, you're talking about.
I forgot what it's called. Blood Hunt or something like. I forgot what it's called.
Is it Blood Hunt?
I think it was Blood Hunt. And then
yeah, it is. Oh, the Masquerade Blood Hunt.
Yeah, and then the wrestling battle royale game. So many free to play games that were just like nobody wanted to spend money on because it's like, oh, it's not worth it. So
that's a good point. If it works if the game is good and there's a shop. It does not work if the game is mediocre and there's a shop.
So Dark and Darker from Gaming Gone Weird. If you want your game to succeed and you want these microtransactions to go through, make a good game. That's all there is to it.
Amen.
Let us know what you guys think about microtransactions in gaming. Getting into our third topic of the day, a topic that I'm very excited to talk about is the Pokemon Presents that happened yesterday. And they have a lot of stuff that they actually announced. I'm just going to kind of go ahead and speed through some things so it doesn't feel like I'm just like talking like crazy. Because there's a lot of stuff. These Presents be like whipping out so much stuff. We did get more info on the release date for the DLC for the Teal Mask. So that's very cool. We have 4 new Pokemon that they released. We have this guy.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What in the Gundam is that? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
We have Dripplin.
Dripplin?
We have Iron Crown.
All right, that one looks pretty sick.
And we have Raging Bolt.
Why?
Pieter reacts.
I'm sorry.
He reacts.
Take me back to the tomato
Pieter
plant.
reacts.
Take me to the tomato plant.
Dude, it's an apple.
Yeah.
Tomato plant's an apple.
Who's making these, dude? Who's making these? Dripplin?
Bro said a tomato plant. I ain't been so mad in a while. Bro said a tomato plant. His name is Dripplin. What makes you think that is a tomato plant?
I don't know.
Bro, it's an app.
I got tomato vibes real quick. It's looking like pizza sauce coming out the top.
Pieter reacts. Where he reacts.
I like the cloud hat guy too. He looks cool.
Bro.
What?
Do you know what Pokemon that is?
That one?
Yeah.
No.
You've never seen that Pokemon before in your life?
No.
Never.
I was original for 150.
This came out in Johto. Can someone help him out?
And I like Lechonk. I like that one.
Does that Pokemon not sound familiar to you? Raikou?
Is it Dragon Raikou?
Pieter reacts. He reacts. So those are the new mons you get. They talked about the 2023 Pokemon World Championships. They're also adding a new show that is going to be presented during the World Championships. This is called Path to the Peak, and it is a Pokemon TCG show. It looks actually very cool, and I like that they're doing this to introduce the card game a little bit more, being a card game fanatic. They're also releasing Terra Raids for Mewtwo and Mew, so you can get them in the new game.
Okay, I was gonna ask what that was because I watched that that animation, but I wasn't sure what it was for.
What, Path to the Peak?
No, the Mewtwo one.
Oh yeah. So Mewtwo and Mew aren't in the game, but now they're gonna be in the game. You guys are going to get Mewtwo Y in Pokemon Unite now, which is going to be absolutely broken. In Pokemon Go, they're going to add the new Paldea Mons. And then also, last but not least, they are adding the Pokemon Trading Card game and Pokemon Stadium 2 to Nintendo Switch Online. Pete, does any of this interest you? What do you? How do you feel about the presents? What do you rank it?
I mean, Dripplin, 10 out of 10. What I am actually interested in now that you mention it is having access to play these old Pokemon games on the Switch. Because I remember playing a whole lot of Pokemon Stadium when that was out. I think that would be cool to go back to and run through. I mean, they're always doing
No. Time out.
What?
The next game you're playing is a Pokemon game. No, I'm done.
Is not a Pokemon game?
I'm done. No. You're done. You're done, bro. You have a Switch now. You're playing a Pokemon game. Chat, I need you guys to comment right now. If you guys are watching the pod, now we're after the fact. Tell him what Pokemon game he's playing. That's the next game you're playing, dude. I'm not taking no for an answer, all right?
I mean, Detective Pikachu Returns is coming out.
That game's going to be sweet too, but we're going to baby step you. We're going to get you out of the diaper phase. Right now you're in diaper phase. You're diaper Peter.
OG phase is what I prefer.
No, you're in a diaper still. You're a baby. Okay. You're a baby when it comes to when you said that insult about Dripplin. I stick up for my boy Dripplin.
You don't even know him yet. Relax,
bro. See, like, I don't think I could really flex my Pokemon knowledge right now, and I really don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Dripplin. Okay, let me tell you the origin real quick, guys. I got to school Peter. See Dripplin. You see Dripplin? Mm-hmm. There's a Pokemon that came out in Sword and Shield.
Applin.
There you go. Applin has 2 evolved forms, Appleton and Flapple. And now it has Dripplin. All right?
I need a visual on Flapple. 1 second.
Flapple.
Oh, it flies.
Yeah. Man's got to start with the new ones. He should start with Scarlet and Violet. No, yeah. Scarlet or Violet, you got to pick your pick. Pokemon Sleep, that's a mobile game. That don't count. I hope the new Detective Pikachu is like a hard-boiled. I think the new Pokemon Detective.
That sounds cool.
I think the Detective Pikachu game looks very cool. I like. It kind of creeps me out, but I kind of like. I just don't understand why Pikachu has just like the manliest voice ever. Like he's just like all talking.
Yeah, that threw me out.
It is very weird.
It's like, hey, I'm Detective Pikachu. Come and save some stuff.
Hi, I'm Pikachu.
Yeah.
This is my friend Tom. We have coffee and cigars together.
He's straight from New York. He's like, anyway, we're out here chasing the Pokemons, trying to solve these mysteries.
Let me get a New York slice pepperoni. He's so Bronx. It's just so crazy to me. I just don't.
I was thrown way off when I heard the voice.
But I think like so a lot of people get really pressed with these Pokemon Presents though too. So like I kind of want to throw this in here to kind of get my 2 cents because I really do love Pokemon and I've gone to the point to where these Pokemon Presents is like my expectations just go to like I wouldn't say an all-time low, but they're pretty low because I know that they're not gonna like people expect them to release like they're gonna announce the new game. Woo! And it's like, hey, guys, we have to have patience here. I don't even think we've been a year into the new game yet. And they're going to talk about the DLC a little bit and stuff like that. But like, this is the problem that comes with Pokemon. And I said this before. All those games I named, how many like what franchise do you know that has that many like live service games running? We're talking about Pokemon Go, Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Masters, Pokemon Cafe, Detective Pikachu, the original game. We're talking about the TCG. We're talking about, dude, it's nuts. Like how many different things does Pokemon have? Like even like Mario don't have that type of like variety when it comes to it, bro.
Do you think Pokemon has overtaken Mario as like a powerhouse brand? I mean, Mario will forever be famous, but
no,
it's got to be closing the gap, right?
I think just Mario will forever be number 1.
Sure. I mean, but like, do you think Pokemon's getting close?
It's Mario 1, it's Pokemon 2, it's Zelda 3.
Yeah.
I think we always have this topic every time we bring up a Nintendo game.
It's just like fascinating, man.
Do we're gonna have to dive into research of what franchise. Look that up while I go ahead and I'm gonna say some stuff about this Pokemon. But one of the things I can appreciate is the fact that they did talk about the Pokemon World Championships and stuff like this really does intrigue me and that I really like because especially for someone who plays the card game, who knows what the VGC is like in the competitive format, I like that they introduced this into their plans of showing people like this is what we can offer if you can continue playing. And I absolutely love that this is going to be in Japan. I think like when like all the merch and stuff is out of this world. And it gives you like a reason to like want to play this game because how many times have you seen like you want to get really good at a game just to see like I want to be there. I want to be at Evo or I want to be at the Rocket League Championship and play in an arena in front of millions of people. It's something that like gets you confidence to want to do more, like influences you to do more. And it highlighted what's going on in like the CCG stuff. And especially with that Path to Paldea, I think it's Path to Peak. I'm sorry. I think I said it wrong. Let me look. Path to the Peak. Yeah, Path to the Peak, the TCG show to introduce more people into the card game. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Have they ever done that before? Like any stuff focused on the card game?
Not like this.
Shows?
No,
Okay.
not like this. I'm gonna play at the next. Yeah. Okay. Now that nonsense is over, did you end up getting some numbers for me?
Yeah, it's not even close, Mario. So that's
okay. Well, who's two?
I was just comparing Pokemon and Mario. The Mario conglomerate is like in the trillions at this point, so it's not close.
You're like, is Pokemon closing the gap?
I think Pokemon's closing the gap, bro.
He said, "Is Pokemon closing the gap?" Do you think Pokemon's closing the gap?
Not with Flapple out there, man.
I really think Pokemon's closing the gap.
Look at the Gundam, Mon, dude. Look at this.
I'm not gonna have you insult these mods.
They went from characters to shapes for a minute.
That's all that Pokemon Black and White was. They just dumped a crap ton of Pokemon in there, and the whole aspect of it was that not anything could be a Pokemon. That's when you had like Klefki, the keychain Pokemon. That's when you had the garbage Pokemon. You had the microwave Pokemon. It was like saying that like not all Pokemon are just like animals. They introduced it to like inanimate objects.
How did that go over?
I mean, they force them on us still. You got an apple. You got an apple. What else do you need?
Yeah, I saw the chandelier one and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, no, that's an insult. Chandelier is actually really cool. So let us know what you guys think about the Pokemon Presents. And let us know how many of you guys want to see Peter play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You will like Scarlet and Violet. It's a little buggy.
Oh, those are the newest ones?
I have to warn you now. It's the newest one. It's a little buggy, but definitely play it before the DLC comes out in September. You have a whole month.
Well, I think Coco is hooking me up with a free game. Arceus, I believe. When I go yeah, he got some extra games at a garage sale. He said that's a good one to start with.
Arceus?
Do you confirm?
No. I think he's setting you up for failure, but that's your boy. Hey,
I just think that was the
that's
only
your
one
boy. That's your boy. I don't know. That's your... Let me know what you guys think about the Pokemon Presents. Last but not least, I'm gonna have Peter kick us off with the last topic of the day about Assassin's Creed Jade. Peter, go ahead and kick us off.
Assassin's Creed Jade is coming on to mobile, which is why we were talking about mobile games a little bit earlier. And I had watched some of the footage of this game, and keep in mind this game is a mobile game, right? So you're watching this, and I'm like, oh, this is like a Switch port. No, this is on mobile. Now I know we talked about it. Was it 20 hours that this game is supposed to have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so. First of all, I don't know how much battery life you're going to be running this thing.
Bro, did you say 20 or 200? I could have sworn
20,
you said 200.
20.
I could have sworn you said 200.
I did not say 200.
That's why I threw a fit. No, I think we were talking about the main games being 200.
Yeah. This one, yeah. First of all, I don't know who asked for a mobile Assassin's Creed game. Second,
yeah. What people that are like trapped in straitjackets and in a room full of pillows ask for the mobile version of Assassin's Creed? I did not need this at all.
Why are we doing this? I don't know.
I'm not being mean, bro. Like, listen, bro.
Why are we doing this?
I think the game looks super good. Like that is very dog poop of me to like really put down this game because it looks very freaking good.
It looks really good for mobile.
We're talking about a game that's going to be open world. It's going to be free to play, and it's a mobile game. I really shouldn't be putting it down because, like, it's checking off the boxes. But at the same time, I just don't understand why they were just like, yeah, we want this to be a mobile game. And it seems like it could be part of, like, the timeline of the other Assassin's Creed. So I feel like they want to make it, like, canon in a way. Like, because you know how Pokemon, they'll have their games, they'll have their mobile games, and they're just like, like fun little like, oh, I'm gonna play on the go Pokemon Sleep, or I'm gonna play Pokemon Go, and they don't really, you know what I'm saying? They're there, but it's not like a full-on game,
right?
Like with a story that you're locked in on. It's just like it's something to play. They want to make this like an actual like game. It looks like you know what I'm trying to mean, like a full game.
Right. Like I'm gonna go, hey, like I got 5 hours. I'm gonna go sit down on my phone and play Assassin's Creed Jade. It doesn't. I just of all if you're like mega list of franchises you'd want to see come to the mobile game, I wouldn't have picked this one. Like I wouldn't. There's so many great Assassin's Creed games, and the franchise is so storied, but I just don't. I don't get why it's on. I don't need this on my phone.
Why are we the biggest Assassin's Creed haters though, man?
I love Assassin's Creed.
Do we have to look ourselves in the mirror and be like, we're the problem?
No,
because
we do not. We are not the problem. We are the consumer.
Because at this point, we're sitting here and we're like, dude, this is terrible, yada, yada, yada. I'm just not the type of person to want to sit here and play a mobile game for that long. Like, I like the time setting that's going to be. Apparently, it's going to take place in China. I watched a video based on it. The guy said that it's basically in between when Assassin's Creed Odyssey was and Origins, I'm pretty sure. So it's right in between that time period for those games. So if you really care about that, Assassin's Creed is not a game for me that I want to sit down and play on mobile for a very long period of time, but it looks very cool.
Yeah.
It feels like we've been talking a lot about Assassin's Creed like the past few weeks on the pod. Like I think it's kind of crazy that there's somehow this game's coming out soon. It has to be. There's already closed beta on this, so they're working on it. That eventually people are going to be able to play it. I wouldn't be surprised if this game doesn't get released within the next year. My worries with it is, bro, if you don't have like the newest phone, your phone's going to heat up. My phone heats up from like tweeting too much.
Yeah,
dude. When my phone's out in the sun for too long. And it's like, it'll tell me like, yo, bro, your phone's too hot. You can't play it.
So like, what's it optimized for then? Like the newest phones, like the newest.
Ain't nobody playing this on their iPhone 4. I'll tell you that.
Right. I mean, iPads. You could probably play it on an iPad pretty easily. I would
say, yeah, iPhone. The newest iPhone, yeah. But then like, I feel like I would want to just hook up a controller and play this with a controller at that point.
Right. Yeah, not for me, man.
Even when it comes to like Pokemon Unite and stuff like that, it's a mobile game, but I don't want to play it like a mobile game. I don't want to sit there and have to do the little things like that.
Yeah, the little touch joysticks.
My wife can do it. Bless her soul. She's a very nice woman. If you want to sit there and have to play like that, I'm not into that. So is this like something that you would be willing to try though, at least?
No. I invested in a Switch. That's my mobile gaming, I invested in the Switch. That's me gaming mobily now. I've tried to download like it's nice in these like short-term things, like a game that's a short-term. I can play it from one bus stop to the next and be done with it. I'm not logging back in to advance further into Assassin's Creed on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving to, you know what I mean?
I will say, I wonder how big the download is.
I don't know, man. I don't know. No one asked for this.
An open world 20-hour game to be downloaded onto your phone.
Dude, someone's going to leave it. Someone's going to be like, I can't save my progress. Like, I'm just going to have to leave this plugged in all the time. Your phone's going to melt.
Oh, that's going to kill your battery. Like, can we optimize settings here?
I don't know. Do you think it runs 60 frames?
Or if it doesn't, Red Dead should have just released the iOS version at that point. If they're not going to put 60 frames on the Switch, they might as well just put it on the phone.
Right.
In general, though, dude, I think the game does look very good. Like they clearly says in the bottom, work in progress. We all know what that means. But at the same time, like if it looks as good as what I think it's going to look on the Nintendo or on the iOS, then kudos to like technology, because we're starting to get into an era to where like it gives people more. It gives like these companies and these game developers and stuff like that more firepower to create more different stuff. Like, okay, well, I don't want to create a game for just like a console. Now it's time to release my my phone version of the game. And I think that's kind of cool, being able to have that versatility when it comes to gaming, because now they're saying like you could play Assassin's Creed on the go. Like, yeah, technically you could have did it with the Switch, but now we're talking about
but maybe you can't afford one, right? And maybe it's just not in the budget. What you can't afford is the game at whatever price it's at. And I think you make a great point. I think it's access. So now you're doing what you can to invest resources to make sure no matter what you have in terms of hardware, you can play this series, this franchise.
Right.
It's not for me, but it's gonna help people out. Like, hey man, like all I can do is I can only pay for the phone. I can only pay for my online phone service, and I will leave this plugged in all day to play this game. And
this is I'm at work. I'm in the office. I might as well get a little bit of gaming in. That's what I love about this. Toilet time for sure. Yeah, definitely a good toilet time game.
For sure.
I'm hoping it's optimized very good. I'm hoping that it's available for people that have like a little bit of older phones to be able to play. Because this thing is going to drain your battery and stuff like that. But less of the fact, man, like Assassin's Creed or Ubisoft or whoever is working on these games, they've been killing it with Red. With the last stuff we've been looking at Red, we kind of give it the slander of how big the game's going to be, and then like stuff like this. That's just us trying to be funny in general. Like, come on, bro. They're putting out a 200-hour game that's going to have a lot of stuff into it, a great area. Same thing with Jade. It's going to take place in China, open world, free to play. I hope microtransactions don't kill it, but I mean, they're doing their thing. They're working on 2 massively big games, so hopefully they make comeback of the year with this.
Yeah, when it's that, the gaming industry is better when there's a good Assassin's Creed game out.
Yeah, the gaming industry is better when Peter actually plays Pokemon Scarlet and Violet too. TBD. I mean, like, before we log off, can we how do you feel about the fact of playing Pokemon though? Tell the people.
I have no.
I want a quote.
How do I feel about Pokemon? It's been 74 years, and I can't wait to jump back in. Yeah.
I think at that fact, we're going to go ahead and log off. I do want to say before we log off, man, I appreciate everybody that did kick it here. To get a little bit of the housekeeping out of the way, you guys mean the world to us. We appreciate everybody here. But if you guys could do us a quick favor, make sure you guys like, sub, comment, all that stuff before you leave. Literally all of it helps, and it pushes us out to potential new listeners. I will announce, too, that Peter is coming. He's going to be in my state in a few days. Well, tomorrow. So I'm hoping that at this point. I'm hoping that we can get a picture with the Gaming Gone Weird duo. So I'm excited for that. But seriously, thank you guys for all the love and support, everything you guys do for us, because it's definitely well appreciated. And we know you guys have other stuff you guys got to do and stuff like that. People are busy, but giving us a hour out of your guys' day to listen to us talk about gaming news and our opinions do mean the world. If you guys want to listen to us, we are live every week, 8 p.m. Eastern, every Wednesday. So, yeah, Peter, go ahead and close us out. Tell the people what you're doing and the plans for the future.
Yeah, as Nick said, flying up to Cincinnati tomorrow to come hang out with a couple of creator friends, people we met over the internet, which is actually pretty cool. The power of Twitch and Twitter, which is pretty sweet. Working on still have Ghost Stories Gaming, and then launched a new fantasy football channel, so Ghost Fantasy Football. So check that out. Tom and I are still doing the Ball Bag Sports channel that has also launched. So check that out. All things football, and just making content on everything, man. Streams are a little less as of late, but that's because of the new channels and getting up to speed of all the backlogged content. But still making TikToks and all the big platforms. New games, Switch games.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. My name is Nicktana. I'm going to be pushing Peter to play the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet starting today. Every day I will be messaging him to get you guys that information on the new Pokemon games. Also, if you guys want to see more of me, I critique video games, you guys can look me up anywhere at You Love Nicktana. I just did a Bayonetta 3 review that I really did enjoy, and I am coming out with a part 2 of that, and I'm on a mission to play all the Bayonetta games and to review them and to give you guys that information. So that's basically what I've been working on. Madden is coming out within 7 days, so a lot of Madden content is going to be coming, and a lot of Madden stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be a very angry person in the next few days.
The gaming industry is also excited when Nicktana is playing the new Madden. I'll tell you that much.
The world gets all revved up for sure. So that's basically it for me, guys. Other than that, thank you guys for watching Gaming Gone Weird and being weird with us. Be safe. Tell someone you love them, and we'll catch you guys next week. And I think I said tell someone you love them, right? Tell someone you love them.
Yeah.
If you haven't. And tell Peter to play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We are out.